Inadvertently added to his signal chat, Trump lost confidence in Waltz and fired him minutes after he was interviewed about Ukraine on Fox News.
Trump with no cameras around, nobody listening, nobody watching. And I'm telling you, this is a man of deep faith, a man of deep conviction.
Capture the unicorn, that is Donald Trump, better than him wanting daily reports to make sure these guys are in the office while he is on a golf course in Florida, which, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, isn't that exactly what they accused Hunter Biden of doing? Like, exactly?
Trump just fired his first cabinet member after one Fox News interview. Yep, National Security Advisor Michael Waltz got the boot faster than a contestant on The Apprentice. And here's the kicker. It wasn't even about policy. And Jimmy Kimmel is destroying him with a bang. Turns out our commander-in-chief lost confidence in Waltz after watching him on TV.
Other big international news is that National Security Advisor Michael Waltz is out, according to multiple reporters.
Meanwhile, Trump's spending his weekends at Mar-a-Lago while forcing Federal Election Commission employees to report their exact location every day. Hypocrisy much? Let's break down this ridiculous double standard. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So, did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. So what exactly did Michael Waltz say on Fox News that got him fired? Nothing wild or controversial. No leaked secrets. No big policy blunders. The dude just wasn't mean enough. I'm serious. Waltz showed up on Fox News doing what he thought was a normal interview. You know, the usual stuff. Defending Trump's foreign policy, nodding along with the hosts, probably wearing his best TV suit. Just another day at the office for a national security advisor in the Trump White House. Routine stuff, right? Wrong. What Waltz didn't know was that Trump was watching from his golden throne at Mar-a-Lago, chomping on a cheeseburger and getting crankier by the second. Our former president wasn't mad about what Waltz said. He was fuming about how he said it. Not enough fire, not enough grrr for the big guy. According to reports, Trump got all huffy because Waltz wasn't aggressive enough in defending him.
Got fired. Trump reportedly wanted to fire him immediately after the accidental text story, but that would have been an admission that he hired a dummy.
Can you imagine that performance review? You're fired because you weren't mean to the TV people. That's like firing your doctor because they didn't yell at the pharmacist. It's completely bonkers, but here we are. The whole thing fits Trump's pattern perfectly. He doesn't care if you're the smartest national security expert on the planet. He doesn't care if you graduated top of your class or wrote the book on foreign policy. What matters is if you look good on TV and if you're willing to bare your teeth for Daddy Trump. Loyalty and TV skills trump actual expertise every single time. Then came the White House statement, which was about as clear as mud. They just said Trump lost confidence in Waltz. That's it. No details, no explanation.
Inadvertently added to his signal chat, Trump lost confidence in Waltz and fired him minutes after he was interviewed about Ukraine on Fox News.
Just the classic Trump firing language we've seen a million times before. It's the political equivalent of, it's not you, it's me. Except we all know it's definitely about you not being aggressive enough on Fox News. Here's the really funny part, though. Waltz had only been in the job for a few months. The poor guy probably still had the new employee paperwork on his desk. He was probably still trying to figure out where the good bathrooms were in the White House. Hey, where's the coffee machine? Oh wait, I'm fired? Because of Fox News? Cool, cool, cool. When you dig into what actually happened, Trump reportedly told his aides that Waltz looked weak, defending his foreign policy. Not that he was wrong. Not that he misstated something. Not that he revealed state secrets. Just that he looked weak.
United Nations. What a strong message that is. We can't trust you to keep our secrets, but go cavort freely with representatives from every country in the world.
In Trump's world, That's the ultimate sin. Worse than being incompetent, worse than being corrupt, worse than anything. Just don't look weak on TV, especially when talking about Trump. So there you have it. Trump fired his national security advisor not over policy disagreements or incompetence, but because he didn't like his TV performance. Meanwhile, actual national security issues? Those take a backseat to TV ratings and looking tough. Trump would rather have someone who sounds strong while being completely wrong than someone who's right but doesn't pound the table enough. It's like hiring a bodyguard based on how loudly they can yell, rather than if they actually know how to protect you. Except this isn't a bodyguard, it's the person in charge of keeping the entire country safe.
So he let the dummy stay a few more weeks and fired the dummy and now has nominated the dummy to be...
But hey, at least the next national security advisor will know to raise their voice and get red in the face when defending Trump on TV. The worst part is, this isn't even surprising anymore. Remember when Rex Tillerson reportedly called Trump a moron and got fired? Or how about when Trump fired his defense secretary by tweet? Or the time he fired his FBI director while the poor guy was across the country? At least Waltz got fired the old-fashioned way, for not performing well on the only stage that matters to Trump: television. And speaking of double standards, let's look at what Trump expects from everyone else while he judges TV performances from his golf resort. The man who can't be bothered to show up to work at the White House most weekends has some pretty intense expectations for everyone who works for him. Do as I say, not as I do. The Trump family motto. While Trump was busy firing people for bad TV performances, he's also made the Federal Election Commission implement some truly bizarre workplace rules. The latest? Every single FEC employee now has to report their exact location every day. Not once a week. Not when they're working remotely. Every single day.
From the Washington Post, that employees at the Federal Election Commission will soon be required to report their locations every day.
It's like they're all wearing invisible ankle monitors or something. According to the Washington Post, FEC employees received an email telling them they need to verify their whereabouts each day. Can you imagine getting that email?
Everyone at the FEC received an email that said every day they'll have to verify where they are to make sure they aren't working remotely.
Hi team, just a reminder that Big Brother needs to know where you are at all times. Have a great Monday. It's the kind of micromanaging that would make even the strictest middle school hall monitor say, "Whoa, that's a bit much." The funniest part, this whole tracking system was reportedly the brainchild of Doge under Elon Musk. Yes, that Elon Musk, the billionaire who's apparently worn out his welcome at the White House and is now dialing back his Doge duties to focus on his own disaster of a company.
That idea to monitor every employee's whereabouts was the brainchild of Doge under Elon Musk, who has apparently worn out his welcome at the White House.
Nothing says functional government like taking workplace advice from a guy who puts Chief Twit in his Twitter bio. The irony here is thicker than Trump's makeup. The same president who demands to know where every government worker is at all times can't be bothered to show up to his own job at the White House most weekends. Instead, he's off at Mar-a-Lago, probably playing golf and eating chocolate cake while deciding which countries to bomb over dessert. Let's do some quick math here. In just the first 102 days of his presidency, Trump made 10 weekend trips to Mar-a-Lago. That's almost every weekend. He spends more time at his Florida resort than he does in the actual White House.
Headed to Mar-a-Lago tonight for another 3-day weekend. This is his 10th weekend trip to Mar-a-Lago since he took office 102 days ago.
But heaven forbid some poor FEC employee takes a 15-minute coffee break without filing the proper paperwork. This employee tracking system is supposedly about accountability, but we all know what it really is. Just another way for Trump to exert control over government workers while he does whatever the heck he wants. It's the workplace equivalent of a parent telling their kid, "because I said so." Except in this case, the parent is also spending most of their time on vacation. Trump's own work schedule is famously light. Remember those leaks about his daily calendar? Hours and hours of executive time, which we all know is code for watching Fox News and tweeting while sitting on the toilet.
Capture the unicorn, that is Donald Trump, better than him wanting daily reports to make sure these guys are in the office while he is on a golf course in Florida.
The man starts his workday at 11 a.m. most days, probably still in his bathrobe, yet he's tracking government employees like they're Amazon warehouse workers. The contrast gets even more ridiculous when you realize these FEC employees are being tracked while Trump's own cabinet officials are getting fired for TV appearances. So, if you work for the government, you better report your exact location every day, but also make sure you look tough enough on Fox News, but also don't outshine the president, but also don't make any mistakes. Good luck, everyone. What this employee tracking system really reveals is Trump's actual management style. Strict rules for everyone else while he does whatever he wants.
Believe Trump is a man of deep faith? Does anyone believe that? He skipped church to play golf on Easter.
It's do as I say, not as I do, taken to an absurd level. The president can spend 3-day weekends at his private club, but government workers better be at their desks with their location services turned on. It's kind of like having a gym teacher who makes you run laps while he sits in a golf cart eating donuts. Faster! And tell me exactly which part of the track you're on at all times. Meanwhile, he's got powdered sugar all over his whistle. The whole situation would be funny if it wasn't so hypocritical. Trump runs around calling government workers the deep state and complaining about how inefficient they are, then implements policies that waste everyone's time with pointless check-ins. It's like putting a boat anchor on a swimmer and then complaining they're not moving fast enough. And let's be real, this isn't about productivity or accountability. If it was, Trump would start with his own work habits. This is about control and making government workers feel like they're constantly being watched. Nothing says, "I respect public service," like treating federal employees like they're untrustworthy children. But wait until you hear about Trump Jr.'s exclusive new club in DC that takes this hypocrisy to a whole new level. While Daddy Trump is tracking government workers and firing cabinet members for not being mean enough on TV, Jr. is finding new ways to cash in on the family name. Because why serve the public when you can serve yourself? While Trump is busy tracking government workers and firing cabinet members, his son is cashing in on the family name in the most obvious way possible. No subtlety here, folks. Donald Trump Jr. just launched a fancy members-only club in Washington, D.C. And what did he name it? Executive Branch.
Jr. has returned. He is co-founding an exclusive members-only club in Washington, D.C. It's called Executive Branch.
Not kidding. It's actually called Executive Branch. That's about as subtle as a brick through a window. Let's talk about the membership fee for this exclusive club. Hope you're sitting down because it's $500,000. That's right, $500,000 just to get in the door, plus yearly dues. Who would pay that kind of money? As the reports put it, who would pay, can you imagine paying $500,000 to hang out with Donald Trump Jr.? That's not a typo. $500,000 to hang around with Jr. and his friends. That's like paying for a meal and getting food poisoning on purpose.
Sign up for this. Who would pay? Can you imagine paying $500,000 to hang out with Donald Trump Jr.?
This whole situation raises some pretty obvious questions. Remember when Republicans completely lost their minds over Hunter Biden supposedly selling access to his dad? They were practically foaming at the mouth about influence peddling and corruption. Well, as one source points out, isn't that exactly what they accused Hunter Biden of doing? Junior's club makes Hunter Biden look like a kid with a lemonade stand. At least Hunter tried to be a little sneaky about it. Trump Jr. is just putting up a neon sign that says, "Buy access here."
Which, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, isn't that exactly what they accused Hunter Biden of doing? Like, exactly?
The name of the club is what really takes the cake. It's literally named after the branch of government his father runs. That's next level shameless. It's like if Hunter Biden had opened a club called the Oval Office Lounge or Presidential Suite Social Club. The executive branch club is basically saying the quiet part out loud. Pay us money and you get access to government power. No winks or nudges needed. And what do you get for your $500,000? The club promises exclusive access to CEOs, tech giants, and government officials. Translation: pay to play. The actual membership benefits are hilariously vague. You're basically paying for the privilege of saying you're in the same club as a Trump. It's like buying an expensive ticket to a party where the only refreshment is the Kool-Aid everyone's drinking.
Costs $500,000 plus annual dues, but they promise exclusive access to CEOs, tech giants, and government officials.
The timing of this club launch couldn't be more perfect. Right as Jr. was setting up his influence selling operation, Trump was hosting the National Day of Prayer at the White House. The source notes that many prospective members of Club Jr. were gathered at the White House today for a National Day of Prayer.
That is going to be one lonely club. Many prospective members of Club Jr. were gathered at the White House today for a National Day of Prayer.
Nothing says genuine religious devotion like using a prayer event to network for your son's cash grab club. To make it even better, Trump had Dr. Phil as a speaker at the prayer event, because nothing says deep faith like a TV doctor with questionable credentials leading the nation in prayer.
Why is Dr. Phil the speaker at the National Day of Prayer? Is it so we can pray Trump doesn't make him Surgeon General?
Trump with no cameras around, nobody listening, nobody watching. And I'm telling you, this is a man of deep faith, a man of deep conviction.
As the source asks, are we really supposed to believe Trump is a man of deep faith? A man of deep pockets, maybe? Deep faith? Not so much. Look at the perfect Trump week. Fire your national security advisor because he wasn't mean enough on TV. Force government employees to report their location like they're on parole. Let your son profit off your presidency with a club named after your job, and then pretend to be religious with Dr. Phil. It's like a master class in hypocrisy.
Dr. Phil sat right next to me on this show to warn us about Trump. He described him as a liar and a narcissist. Now he's a man of deep faith.
The executive branch club perfectly captures the Trump approach to government. It's not about serving the public, it's about serving yourself. It's not about making America great, it's about making the Trump family rich. Every opportunity is a chance to build the brand and turn a profit. The presidency isn't a sacred duty. It's a business opportunity with really good parking. Jimmy Kimmel had some thoughts about all this that really hit the mark. The late-night host has been taking shots at the Trump family for years, but even he seemed amazed at how shameless this club is. Kimmel's brutal takedowns of Trump highlight just how ridiculous this all is. The president who ran on draining the swamp is now letting his son sell access to that same swamp for $500,000 a pop. The whole executive branch club situation is the perfect Trump family business model. Take something that belongs to the American people, like the name of a branch of government, slap your name on it, jack up the price to absurd levels, deliver questionable value, and then act surprised when people call it corrupt.
Mike Waltz isn't the only one headed out. Longtime anchor Steve Doocy made a major announcement this morning.
It's grifting, but with better letterhead. What's next? Maybe Ivanka will open a boutique called Supreme Court Couture, or Eric will start a golf tournament called the Congressional Open. At this point, nothing would surprise us. The Trump family business plan has always been simple. If you can't earn respect, at least charge admission. Trump's first cabinet firing tells us everything about what he thinks is important. Being mean on TV matters more than actual national security. Looking tough is more important than being smart. It's all about the show, not the actual job. The pattern is clear as day. Government workers have to report their every move while Trump spends his weekends at his resort. His son sells access for $500,000 while regular employees get tracked like they're criminals. These double standards aren't mistakes. They're the whole point of Trump's government. This is exactly how he wants things to work. Get ready for 4 more years of this nonsense.